the inside, braking late. Lawson's going to cover that move off. I've clipped the wall. Oh, and we got Alex Albon out of this race. Crash in the back. That is... Okay, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today, like it says in the title, we're just going to be messing around with some new mods. I was on the overtake.gg site, or I think it's called Race Department now. Basically going through, seeing if I could get any mods for F125. I did manage to get a few. I've got a like a dirty air / straight line speed improver sort of mod, so like it changes all those physics. And then I got an AI overhaul, a tire overhaul, and yeah, all that kind of thing. And a damage overhaul too. So we're going to experiment with those today. I was experimenting with them yesterday, and they made the game 10 times better. So we're going to do a 25% race at Las Vegas, since it was Las Vegas this weekend. And we're just going to have a good race, and I'm going to show you how good these mods are. I'm trying to decide on who we're going to be. I'm thinking we're going to go as... making this decision on the go. Let's be Pierre Gasly. Let's do that. Start in the middle of the pack. Difficulty, 106. Actually, no, 107. Weekend structure, 25% race. And yeah, I'm going to show you what these mods are all about. So let's go straight into it. Okay, so here we are on the grid. Race strategy, we're going to go mediums and softs, but we're going to go an extra lap on those mediums. Drop the fuel a little bit, like so. And then car setup, maximum downforce. Oh, sorry, maximum straight line speed, I should say, for Las Vegas. And let's go. I'm in the wrong camera angle. Let's swap that. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so let's go. Let's see what we can get done. We're going to be P16 on the grid. And it is lights out. And away we go here in Las Vegas. Pretty average start for a lot of the field. We had an okay start. Down into turn 1. We're going to go on the inside, second gear, riding over those curves. AI get through the first corner pretty okay. But we are up 3 positions as we head through turn 2. Getting a little bit wide, but we've lost the position to Lawson, so we're up 2, not 3 positions, but a pretty good start. We can work out something from here, down through the first sector. You can see the sphere up on the left-hand side. We've got Sights having a look on us, down into the right-hander, but we're going to hold that move off as round we go. Now, you're going to see, almost straight away, it's a lot harder to stay and to follow the cars in front with this mod activated. Obviously, Dirty Air changes the way the cars follow, how the cars heat up and cool down, and also with the tyres. So you're going to see it struggle a little bit more through this first sector, trying to follow the cars in front. But it's also overhauled the DRS as well. So the DRS is slightly more powerful than on the base game. As down the Las Vegas Boulevard we go, down the strip, Hard Rock something on the right-hand side there. There's Caesar's Palace. We're going to get Sights right behind us. Also, I should mention, there was a slipstream overhaul. So the slipstream is a lot more powerful on its own than on the base game. Down into the chicane, we're going to stay to the inside, cover that move off from Carlos Sainz, and we're nicely through. Oh, Lawson, very slow coming out of the chicane. We might be able to capitalise on that. Got Hajar, the car in front of him, but we're going to go on the inside. Down into the final corner and across the line. There we go. Still side by side. Hajar going defensive on myself. I'm just going to tuck in behind him. Try not to pick up any damage, but we're going to get past Liam Lawson in the RB. And now we can chase after the top 12. Now, oh dear, nearly hit the wall there. I do have a damage mod installed. So it's not like an extreme damage mod like on Arava's videos, as Lawson's going to get straight back past. Oh, he's locked up a bit. Switch back there. As he goes deep, nicely done. But yeah, so it's not like an extreme damage mod, like with Arrow's videos, but it's like a realistic one. So, the damage is exaggerated, it's a little bit more sensitive, but it's not like, you know, the slightest bit of contact will be an instant DNF. So, it aims to make it a bit more realistic, and it does work well, especially at tracks like Monaco, Jeddah, and Baku, for example. It's through the left-hander on lap 2 of 13. We're in P13, and yeah, so we're just going to see if we can catch up with Hajar and Stroll in front. They're going to go side by side. And now you're going to see the power of the DRS once they get it activated. The gap was 0.6 of a second. That's going to come back down closer to 0.4 of a second. Is into the chicane. Nice apex there. Clipping all those curves. Obviously, it was quite treacherous in the wet during the actual weekend. Lando Norris is going to set the fastest lap of the race. But now we've got the two Aston Martins in front of us. Down into turn 1. I nearly just drove straight into the wall. There's that dirt. There's that dirty air kicking in. You saw the understeer. There's Piastri in the McLaren up ahead. We're going to save some ERS as we head through turn 1 and 2. And then when out we go, DRS is activated. Down towards the right-hander of turn 3. We're not going to get close enough to Lance Stroll, but we're going to have a small look round the right-hander. There we go. A little bit of oversteer as well. Also with the dirty air, with it being changed, it's a lot harder to get on the power, and the cars are quite a bit looser at the back, especially through the slower speed corners. Through the high speed, there isn't too much change because the game was actually quite good in that department, but in low speed, the cars feel very different now. A lot looser, a lot harder to get the power down, and overall just a lot better and a lot closer to real life. As through the left-hander we go. That's where Lando Norris crashed in 2023 on lap 2. As down the Las Vegas Boulevard we go. We're right close to Stroll, and you can see the power of the slipstream. Look at Lawson behind us with slipstream. We're going to get the DRS open. Stroll goes defensive on Lawson. I'm going to go around the outside of Stroll. There goes Lawson on the inside, braking late. Lawson's going to cover that move off. I've clipped the wall. Oh, and we got Alex Albon out of this race there, and that is a red flag. And you can see that damage mod working very, very well there. I think he hit the back of Isaac Hajar, and if that was base game, he would not have DNF'd there, but there you go. Red flag, and that's going to make things very interesting. Okay, so here we go. Race strategy time. We've got 8 laps to go in this race. I was on the mediums, so it's probably not worth going on the softs. At this stage, we're going to go on the hards. It's going to be difficult to keep up. We're going to have the odd car on soft tyres. But let's go for take 2. We're starting in P10, and it is lights out, and away we go for the second time in this video. Down towards turn 1, I had a pretty horrific start. I got a car on my outside through the first corner. That is Gabriel Bortoletto. We're going to stay to the inside, and we're just going to take it nice and easy on these cold tyres. As you can see them, they're actually warmed up quite a bit, but they're going to get right down cool on the surface on this first lap because we're going pretty slow. We've got Sainz on the inside of us down into the right-hander. We're going to leave him space, and oh, I'm going to slide out towards the wall. That was very dangerous there, and we're going to lose a lot of time on the Williams through that right-hander into the left and right-handers past the Las Vegas Sphere. That is one of my worst corners, I think, on the game. I never get it right. Out of the left-hander we go. As we go past whatever that is, that looks like a monorail. I don't think Las Vegas has a monorail, but that's what that looks like. As through the long left-hander and into the tight left-hander, and down the boulevard we go. Now, Stroll and Lawson behind us, they are on soft tyres, so they are going to be big threats early on in this stint, as they're going to have a lot more grip than I do for the first 2 or 3 laps. Here comes Lance Stroll. I've deployed a bit of ERS. I can't really do much to defend against it. The slipstream is so powerful. And down into the chicane, we've got Bortoletto locking up. I've made a big save there. Just pinched the brakes slightly after braking quite hard. I've got the bias quite low at the moment, but that was very close. But there was a shower of debris at the apex of the chicane there. Not sure who that was for, but they're going side by side in front. And looks like Sainz is going to be our main competitor at the moment. Also on the hard tyres. So he's going to be the closest in performance to us. And oh, I've just clipped the wall there. And I've damaged the front wing a bit. And you can see that realism kicking in. That was always going to be damaged. But that shouldn't be too bad. I think I can work with that. It's not too much. It's only light green, which doesn't normally impact performance that much. Plus, this track is mostly straights anyway. So it should be okay for now. Is into the left-hander, right behind Carlos Sainz, riding over that curb. Obviously, I'm only playing on regular corner cutting rules because it's only a game, and I want to have a bit of fun, and if I played on strict, I'd probably get 40 million years worth of penalties. But through the left-hander we go, beneath the hotels. Where is Science going to go? We're not going to go for a move into the left-hander, because that is a death sentence. But over the curb, getting on the power as early as I can. Science was earlier, but look at the slipstream now. We're just going to fly past the Williams, out to the right-hand side, up to 8th gear, 320 kilometers an hour. Lap 7, as Lawson is now going to make it 3 wide. We've got the DRS open. Lawson is the one without DRS. It's down towards the chicane. I'm going to have to outbrake the RB. Am I going to do so? Yeah, I am. He's going to get hung out to dry on the outside. I've got Science on the inside. He's backed out of it. And we're going to pick up the place. That was very close indeed. As down the straight towards lap 8 we go. And it's, you know, it's turning out to be a good race. And these mods just make the racing and the overall experience of the game just 10 times better. Obviously, you can't get them on console, which is a shame. But yeah, if you have F1 25, if you've been struggling with it and enjoying it, get these mods because they're just brilliant. But down the second of many straights on this track, we're on lap 8. We're in, what is that, P12 at the moment. So I think points could be on, but we're just going to have to take it easy. Stroll is the car in front, but he is on soft tyres. So it's going to be hard to catch him. I'm hoping that he's just going to get stuck behind this train. There might even be another accident. You never know. But out of the left-hander, struggling to get the power down. Science is really doing well to just keep it with us. I am going to go up a click on the brake bias, just to be safe, because I was locking the rears a little bit. 3rd gear, bouncing over that curb, getting really close to that wall. We saw a few drivers do that during the actual weekend, especially in the rain. But Science and Lawson, going side by side again, they just have the slipstream on me, plus DRS, but they're not going to get close. As look at that, 3 wide, Haas, RB and Williams, all going 3 wide down into the chicane. We're catching up to Stroll as 3rd gear for us at the apex and getting on the power as early as I can. That was a nice run. Lawson is going to pick up a position on Science, and the Haas look like they backed out. It's up towards lap 9. We've got 5 laps to go in this race. And I'm going to see if I can get past Lance Stroll. His pace is actually dropping off quite a bit at the moment. We've got 11% wear on the rear tyres. So you would think that those numbers would probably be doubled if you're in Stroll's position on soft tyres. DRS is activated. I'm going to swap the ERS into none. Just try and save a bit while we're tucked up behind the rear wing of the Aston Martin. And then I'm just going to wait for the boulevard and just fly past him. A little bit of oversteer there. That is going to wear out the tyres a little bit. As, down into the right-hander. I think I forgot to mention as well, I've also got a tyre wear mod installed. It sort of goes hand in hand with the dirty air mod, but the tyres do heat up at different rates, and it does affect the wear at different rates. But through the right and left-handers, coming up to the back of Lance Stroll, I'm just going to dump some ERS on the exit of this corner. Hopefully I can get close to him. The gap is 0.5 of a second. Yeah, that should be good. Up to 8th gear, 300 kilometers an hour, and we're just in the slipstream. 0.3 of a second is the gap in front, and here we go. Look at this. Not even on the ERS. There's the DRS, and then we're going to use a bit of it now. We're going to have to go to the outside as he defends the inside, and he's going to brake later than me. As there's a little bit of debris spraying up in front between the Red Bull. Oh no! And I nearly did what Colapinto did in qualifying. I've really lost it, and that's going to leave Lawson to get pretty much a free pass on me down into the final corner. I'm going to hold it around the outside. It's going to be really close. We nearly bump wheels down into turn 1, and I'm going to outbrake the Kiwi through the first corner, get that better traction on the outside, and I am going to defend that move. But oh my god, that was very close in the low-speed chicane. Nearly came an absolute cropper there with the barriers. It's exactly what Colapinto did in qualifying. So we were very close. But down into turn 3, now I've got to re-catch up with Stroll, and I've got to keep Lawson behind me. He is on soft tyres, and yeah, it's going to be very difficult to keep the RB behind me. There's the Sphere, going past it once again, and losing a bit of performance in these tyres, getting a lot of sliding action going on. We're at 15% on the rears, but it can't be any better for those soft tyre runners. through the right-hander for the 10th time, through the left-hander for the 10th time, down towards the bollarded corner, and a bit deep on the brakes, and I'm really struggling with Lawson behind me. Dump some of that ERS. I think I'm just going to have to accept my defeat and cede this position. I'm hoping that they crash in front of me. As Stroll goes past Bortoletto and Alonso, the DRS is now open. Lawson goes sailing past. We're going to try and tuck into the slipstream, into the chicane, and really struggling to get it stopped at the moment. This Alpine, not happy with the braking at the moment. There goes Lawson past us. But we are, somehow, catching up with the cars in front, although we were just passed by the RB. Down into turn 1. 3 laps to go in this race. Looks like Lawson, although he passed me, is trying to nurse those soft tyres a little bit. Trying to get to the end of the race. 4th gear through turn 2. And a little bit of power on the way out. We're going to save ERS all the way up until the boulevard, using the DRS to save it. Here is Ocon now catching up behind us. Into the right-hander, clipping that curb. Nicely done. And through the left-hander. As are we going to get close? We're going to get a bit closer to Lawson through the apex of the 2 corners, but Ocon is now starting to get really close to us in the Haas. Getting the power down on the exit of the left-hander. All I need, really, I just need to be in DRS of Lawson in front of me, and that should give us a good opportunity to pass him down the boulevard, down the Las Vegas Strip, getting on the power nice and early. That was really good. Dump some ERS early to get within the slipstream, and then we should get the DRS in about 500 meters time in the slipstream of Lawson. We're going to go to the inside. There's the DRS. We're going to go sailing past the RB. And now we've got 1.6 seconds to make up on the cars in front. I broke very late into the chicane, although I didn't need to. But it has gained us quite a lot of time on Stroll and Bortoletto. We're going to have two laps to go as we cross the line. Lawson is coming back at me here. I'm going to leave him the space on the inside. Is he going to get close? He is not going to get close. Down into turn 1. 2 laps to go, and we've got an Aston Martin, 2 Aston Martins, and a Sauber to get past right at the end of this race. This is going to be a good run on Stroll. Can we capitalise on Stroll? Looks like he's struggling with his soft tyres a little bit. He lost a lot of time to Bortoletto in turn 1, but round the outside we go, using that extra grip from our saved tyres, our hard tyres working a lot better in this phase of the Grand Prix, but we're going to go up the inside on the Aston Martin, bottoming out over that curb a bit, but that is us through, and you can see those soft tyres are not working at the moment. Look at the traction we're going to gain on him, and look at how much we're going to get away from the Aston Martin as we head through the right and left-handers towards the boulevard. We've got Gabriel Bortoletto up next, bouncing over that curb and getting on the power as early as I can. It is 9/10 of a second between me and the Sauber, and then another 5/10 to the Aston Martin of Alonso in front of him. We're getting again a lot of time on the slipstream. Once again, this mod proving useful for us up towards the chicane. We're not going to get close enough for a move. Bortoletto's going to have a little look on Alonso. Nothing is going to happen there into the chicane. On lap 12 of 13, I took way too much curb there, and we were very sluggish getting on the power. But up towards the final lap, we're on lap 12. It's about to be lap 13 as we hit the final corner for the penultimate time. And now, can we get past both of these cars before the end of the race? It's going to be a tense last lap. We're not going to get any higher than 9th place, but 9th place is 100% on at the moment. It's out of turn 2, dumping some of that ERS. We're going to drop it down to none to conserve as we head through the first sector, getting on the brakes nice and early and prolonging that braking. A little bit of a step of oversteer, but prolonging that braking to save the ERS and to ensure that I have plenty to use down the boulevard. Once we get to the boulevard, I'm basically going to use the entire deploy. Just going to save a little bit for the exit of the chicane. But look at how close we are. Bortoletto clipping the wall there with a little bit of oversteer. That's going to make him drop away from Fernando Alonso, but it's going to leave him right in the clutches of us. We could be scoring points here in this video. Down towards the left-hander, bouncing over the curb. And third gear on the way out, fourth gear, fifth, sixth, seventh. Using as much of the deploy as I can. We're going to drain it to about 30%. There we go, 340 kilometers an hour. We're not quite in the slipstream of Bortoleto. We've got the DRS open. He's going to go for the move on Fernando Alonso. Look at this. Fernando Alonso dropping behind the Sauber. We're not going to have a look at Alonso just yet. But as we head through the final chicane, I'm going to dump the rest of the ERS. Can I get close? Oh, I think I am. It looks like Alonso's out of battery. We're going to go left-hand side. We might be able to get Bortoleto too. There's a little bit of contact. And who's going to get it? Is it going to be me? I think it's going to be me. I'm not sure. Yes, we just got Bortoleto. Neither of them had any battery left. And we got it. We got him right on the line. That was so close. And there we have it. Oh my god, what an intense race. What an intense race. Well, there we have it, everybody. Hopefully you all enjoyed that video. That was a lot of fun. And once again, I cannot recommend you guys enough. If you're playing F1 25, if you're on PC, I cannot recommend enough to go on Race Department and just install a few handling and AI behavior and tyre wear mods, etc. All those kinds of things. Because they will genuinely make the experience, like we just saw, so much better. But that is it for me. Hopefully you all enjoyed a different game. I'm on like a 9-video streak of just posting iRacing. So hopefully you all enjoyed a different game for the first time in like 3 weeks. And I'm going to see you all in the next video. Stay safe, make awesome choices. I'm going to see you all later. Ciao!